If you're someone that's been trying and wanting to learn the kettlebell swing, how to do it right, you're not experiencing the progress that you've hoped for, you may be experiencing some lower back pain, some hip pain, some knee pain, then this video is for you. I made it for you because I'm going to show you how to do the kettlebell correctly by correcting the top 3 kettlebell mistakes that I've seen with clients and people doing swings that I see at the gym or anywhere, how to correct them, and that's going to help you progress your path to learning how to do the kettlebell swing correctly and safely. All right, so the top 3 mistakes with the kettlebell swing. So the first one is the setup. This is huge. This is important. That's why it's number 1. If you don't set up correctly with the kettlebell swing, you're not going to be able to do the swing effectively from the beginning. So you're going to be trying to play catch up with the swing as you're swinging the bell. That's not a time to catch up to try to do the to try to catch up and figure out how to do the swing correctly. So that's the first one, is setup. I'm going to go over each one, how to correct those, how to correct these mistakes. I'm going to just point out what they are. The second one is your breath on the way up. So the hike back. So when you're doing the kettlebell swing and you set it up and you're trying to do the hike back. So I'm going to slide the bell over here. You're trying to hike the bell back. If you don't hike it back far enough back into the swing, you're not going to have enough power to explode the bell upward. You can get away with it with a lighter bell, but with a heavier bell, the bell's not going to go up, and then you're going to be trying to lift it up, which I've seen before. That's one of the mistakes. So in order to correct that mistake of trying to lift the bell up, you want to hike that bell back far enough so where it's nice and deep, so you can see that bell behind you, so you can load the hips and glutes and power that bell up out of the backswing into the actual swing. Right, that's number 2, is hiking the bell back after you set up. Mistake 2 is not hiking it back enough and loading your hips. Or you got to load the hips. And then the third one is on the way down. So when the bell's coming down, this is one of the most common. I know it's number 3, but it's just as important. When the bell's coming down, if you hinge too soon, this is where a lot of back issues can come from, or back pain or back injuries from kettlebell swings. If you hinge too soon, pay attention to this. This is important. If you hinge too soon, that weight of the bell, you have a moving weight, a load that's coming down. If you're hinging too soon, that load, that weight, is going to transfer to your back, which I've seen a lot of people doing swings like this. It's going to transfer to that back. The reason is the weight, the load, you're coming forward if you hinge too soon, and the bell's coming back here, and therefore you wonder, okay, why is my back hurting? Well, you're hinging too soon. You're not loading the hips again like we did in the beginning. You have to load the hips on the way down. Instead of hinging too soon, what you want to do is wait for that bell and hinge into that backswing so you can load the hips. All right, that's a correction for that. So I'm going to go back to step number 1. Setting up correctly. So those are the top 3 mistakes: not setting up correctly, not hiking the bell back to load the hips, and your breath, and not waiting long enough for the bell to come down, or hinging too soon is a third mistake, which is you're gonna have lower back issues. And then I guess there's a bonus, breath. You want to have good power breath work, because if you don't have your breath right, you're not gonna be able to brace your core. You're not gonna have your abs engaged. And you're also not going to be able to incorporate the power that you need to get the swing up in the air and reload it while protecting your back, while keeping your abs engaged, right? So let's start with step number 1. So it's going to be setup. So the setup with the bell is simple. And every time I set up, I go through the same process, the same routine. All right, I'll show you from an angle so you can see me here. So what you want to do is you want to put your foot space away from that bell. All right, maybe 1.5. All right. I go about foot space and then I step back. So maybe 1.25 or so. And then you want to bring your feet out with that distance between that you just created with the foot space. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart, but your feet are pointing outward at 10 degrees. All right? Not straight forward, because that's locking the hips in place, and therefore you're not going to have the space for the swing. You want to bring them outward, about shoulder width apart, 10 degrees out. You want the bell to be able to come down, and you want your forearms to be about mid-thigh. All right, so that's the next step. Once you get to that position, so foot space away from that bell, all right, you're here, you come down, you're about mid-thigh, all right, make that to ensure that your feet are wide enough. All right, so forearms, mid-thigh. If you're lower here, you're too tight. If they're upper thigh, you're too wide. So that gives you that feedback. All right, so setup is important. That's the setup for the swing. A key component that I like to throw on for the swing is ab and core engagement. So how do you do that? So once I set up with the bell, I got my foot space away from the bell. I'll slide it here so you can see me. So foot space away from the bell, feet by your side. All right, so what I do here, if I have any clothing that's getting in the way, you want something that's flexible, that's pliable, that's going to allow you to hinge correctly without interfering with that hinge. So wear clothing for that. If not, you can just hike them up a little bit. Find your hips. This is your hinge. All right, this is your hinge for the swing. All right, that's part of the setup. So going back to my key tip here is ab and core engagement. So what you want to do is breathe out, and you want to do a slight crunch. Your abs are engaged. So it should look like this. You should go crunch, glutes forward, hips forward, abs tight and engaged. All right. So what that's going to do is it's going to load your core and brace it before you even hike the bell back. Because once you hike the bell back, you don't want to be trying to contract your abs and breathe at the same time. There's too much confusion. There's too much going on. I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible when you're doing the swing. All right. So core engagement, pack the abs, keep them tight. All right. So once you do that, find that hip hinge. Okay. And then you reach down, check. Are your forearms mid-thigh? If they are, perfect. Then you're ready to go for the swing, all right? And then what you would do is you reach for the bell, you tip it back towards you, shoulders are going to be packing down, you're going to grab the handle, pretend like you're breaking the bell apart, like you're trying to break it apart. That's going to pack your shoulders down, that's going to engage your lats and keep it into that locked position, or keep them tight, all right? So that's the setup, all right? So hinge, break the bell apart, engage, and then now you would hike it back, which leads us to the next step, hiking the bell back correctly. So the mistake is not hiking it back correctly, not loading the hips. How do you fix that? Well, once you set up the position with the bell by your sides here, all right, you find the hinge down, all right, you tilt that bell back like I just went through. So the reason I'm trying to have you break that bell apart, pretend, because you engage your lats, and that's going to pack your shoulders, but it's engaging the muscles, your lats, these big back muscles that are going to hike that bell back to the correct distance behind you. Okay, so you're going to use your lats to hike it back here. The bell's going to come out behind me. If you don't see the bell behind you, it's not a far enough hike back. All right, so you're hinging down. Again, it's not a squat, it's a hinge. Feet about vertical to the ground. All right. Break that bell apart, air in, and then you're going to hike it back using your lats. Okay? Bell should come back, hips down. Don't hike and bring your hips up. Keep that low because that's going to unload your hips, all right? So if you want to bring that bell back, hike it back. That's why you need to engage your lats. That's why you're trying to break that bell apart. Okay, you're hinging down, pack those shoulders, hike it back while keeping your hips down, all right? Glutes, hips down. Here we go. Pack like this, hike it back. All right? Slight movement of the hips, but I don't want up like this. All right? Slide it back. Shoot it back. While looking straight ahead, eyes straight ahead, neck not up, neck not down. Straight ahead, just like that. All right, that's step number 2. All right. Woo! I got you all right up. Just doing those. So practice that. That's a hike back. That's just hike backs. That's one of the drills that I recommend that you practice and do where you're doing the actual kettlebell swing. I'll have the full breakdown of the swing. This is 3 mistakes I want you to look out for so you can correct those. All right. So that's number 2. So that leads us to actually doing the swing. So the bell's up overhead. Or not overhead. The bell should not go overhead. It's not an American swing. It's not overhead. Don't do that. So that's you do a kettlebell snatch. It's a whole other video. So it's not overhead. The bell should be, when you explode it up out of the backswing, if you've done it correctly, set up, backswing, explode it up, the bell's going to float. You've done all your work in power On this part, power breath, and I'll go over the breath in a minute. Bell's gonna float if you did it correctly. It should come about to eye level. All right, bell should be right here. It's gonna come up, it's gonna pause. All right, this distance here, this is the float. All right, once you explode it, it's floating, and then it floats down. This is something I want you to keep in mind when you're doing the swing. This is mistake number 3. Like I said in the beginning, do not rush and or try to hinge back and load it right away. Enjoy the float. Think about this. The longer you enjoy that float, the more rest you have. Because like I said, you've done all your explosive power from the backswing already. The bell's coming up. It's coming down. You're resting. You're just enjoying that, okay? Rest period. That brief, it's a couple split seconds, but it allows the bell to come down into position. And this is key. I want you to remember this. It allows the bell to come and allow you to load it in this imaginary triangle. All right, you have your knees. So there's like a triangle. Imagine your knees are here. There's a triangle right here. And it comes up to your pelvis here. So this triangle. You want the bell going in the triangle. When you do it correctly and you enjoy that flow and you let it come down nice and slow, or just gradually, you don't force it down. You wait until those forearms are right by your sides. It's like a last minute, and then you load them up. It goes in between that triangle, inside the triangle, versus if you do not wait long enough, the bell doesn't go in the triangle. It's below the knees. That's what's going to lead to lower back pain and injury. So that's why we're avoiding that. So again, during the float, let it come up, explode the bell up, let it come down, let it float. Enjoy the float. About right here, this is where most people that I've seen, clients and other students I've had, and also people that are doing the swings at the gym, they're just, all right, I want to get back into the swing, I want to get out of the way of the bell. This is too soon. If you do that, you're below the knees, all right? Can be a little bit scary, I understand that, because you have a weight coming at you, you want to get out of the way. But if you, I'm telling you, from over a decade of experience with bells and training with clients, and if you wait that split second longer from here to here, that's going to make all the difference. It's about maybe a foot to half a foot from the bell coming below your knees versus loading the bell in the backswing. All right. So remember that rest is important. It allows you to rest, it allows you to enjoy the rest, but it's also going to allow you to load the hips correctly. And therefore the bell's going to come down, forearms by the sides, you load it back into the backswing, you swing it up again, and you keep repeating those reps, however many reps you have, how many swings you plan, whatever it is. All right. So there's a bonus set 4. And this is something this is something that's important that I don't see talking about enough, is the breath. So the breath is important. Again, working with clients, the breath can get you stuck. It can get you frustrated trying to think about the breath and the timing and this and that. Just remember this. I'm going to try to really simplify the breath on this right now. So your breath should be power breath on the way out, because you want to keep your core tight. If you breathe out like that, it's going to relax your abs and core. You want that brace because you have a moving weight, all right? And that's on the way out. It's power breath. It's like a hiss, hiss, like, all right? That's going to keep your abs engaged. And as you do it, you can practice it now. Your abs automatically kind of contract, your hips come up, and your glutes engage. That's bracing your abs. It's bracing what you need to for the bell to come down. That's on the breath out. And then on the way down, you're not going to take a deep breath in. Again, it's going to relax your abs if you do that. Instead, what you're going to do is breathe in through the nose, either 1 or 2 quick, sharp breaths through the nose, just enough air to reset and do the next set of swing, or next rep of swing, next swing rep. All right. You're not breathing. You don't need all this air. All right. Again, that's going to relax your abs. Instead, you're going to, like I just said, air in, either 1 breath or 2. Some people do the 2 breath. I find that's a little too much to think about. For me, I just do a good sharp about right here, right before I'm gonna hit. So at that point, here's a key tip. This is something that I do to keep my timing down. This is something I learned over the years and with clients as well, is when the bell's coming down, instead of wanting to hinge at this point, what I want you to do is, that's your breath point. Bear in. So it comes down, and then by the time you do that, that's that split second between here and the hinge. All right? And that's going to allow you to get that bell in that triangle, like I just said, load it back, and explode it up. And doing so with the right timing. All right, those are the 3 mistakes and how to correct them. First one is setup. Second one is not hiking the bell back enough. And the third one is not waiting long enough for the bell to come down and hinging too soon, therefore loading the back where you should be loading your hips instead. How to correct those. And then a bonus one with the breath, all right? So I'm going to put this all together and show you how it works, or show you how it looks with the swing. So go at an angle here. So this is something, when you're doing your swing, I want you to do this every single time. This is, you want to nail this down. Habitual consistency, because then it's going to solidify this proper technique so that you don't really have to think so much when you're doing the swing and the setup. You just do it. It's automatic. You have to program that. It's a motor learning skill and a process, but you have to program it first. You have to practice it. That's how you do it. All right, so first step, setup. So foot space away from the bell. And again, I still do this. Feet to the side. All right, foot space away. Foot space away. Foot space away from the bell. As I lisp here. So again, feet about shoulder width apart, 10 degrees slightly pointed out. All right. Okay. So from this side here, and then you find your hip hinge. Your hip, just your hip. All right. It's hip hinge. That's where you're gonna hinge, but that's at the hip. Right. And the key tip that I'm throwing in is engage your core right away. Get your abs engaged. All right. If you feel like you can't engage your abs, you feel like they're just not firing, which is what I want you to do real quick to engage them. I want you to come do a low plank hold on your forearms. Really try to drive. Power breathe. Hold that for about 10 seconds. That's going to really engage that core. Okay. So it's really firing when you do this. All right. So going back to that, set it up, foot space away. Engage your core. Find that hip hinge. Hinge down. All right, reach through, just a quick check. Are my forearms, ask yourself, are your forearms right in between mid-thigh? If they are, perfect, then you're ready to go. That's step 1. You reach up, tilt the bell back, all right? And then again, grab the handle, pretend like you're trying to break the bell apart. It's the easiest way I've figured out how to learn, do myself, and teach clients is just pretend you're breaking the bell apart. Try to break it apart, okay? You're not going to, unless you're super strong and Superwoman or Superman or whatever, but it's going to pack your lats and engage them and pack your shoulders. It's going to engage your lats and pack your shoulders so that when you swing the ball back, your lat muscles are engaged and you can hike it back enough to be able to explode the bell up forward. All right, so in that position, you're set up, hinge, abs engaged. All right, pack them back. All right. So step 2 is hiking the bell back. So this is where the breath's going. I'm going to incorporate the breath here. So what I want you to do, this is what I do. There's different ways to do this. You can breathe as you come back. I found it's a little distracting and it's hard to keep my abs engaged when I'm breathing as the bell's hiking back. So what I do is I breathe right before. So I hinge here, break the bell apart. I breathe in some air through my nose. Remember, sharp breaths. And then I hike it back. And then, and this is important, the timing on the breath is right as you start to come out of the backswing and explode into that swing, you're already breathing out. And then as you explode the hips forward, lock the knees, and shoot the bell into the swing, your swing's already done. It's floating. All right, coming up, coming down. So back to where I was at. Pack the bell. I'm going to show you a swing and how that looks. Hike it back. All right, again. Notice my breath, my timing. More time. Good. That's how it looks. That's going to get your heart rate up. Whew. So remember that that's how the swing should look. You're never going to do a perfect swing, but if you pursue getting better and better at the swing, it's going to get better. And as you practice these, you're going to get better as well. So that's how the swing looks. All right. So when you're doing the swing, come back and apply these three top mistake corrections and ask yourself, are you setting up correctly? Take the extra 5-10 seconds to set up right. So once you do, you're going to have a strong hike back with the swing, and it's going to transition to a stronger swing in general. And then remember the third mistake correction is wait for that bell. Instead of wanting to hinge here, I want you to breathe, deep breath into the nose, and then hinge when your forearms are right by your thighs. And then you go into a swing again, or sit it down. First start with dead stop swings. That's what I just did. Swing, set, reset, reset, and then just keep going. Okay, do those. Do 3 to 5 sets of those. Practice that. And then you go into the consistent rep swings, which I'll show you in a minute how to do that. So when you're doing those, remember, practice the routine. So as you're doing your dead stop swings, sit it down, reset, shrug up, break that bell apart again, re-engage your lats, hike, explode it up, timing, down, set. Explode it up, back, down, set. Explode it up, or hike. Just like that, all right? So, that's it. That's how you do the kettlebell swing. I'll show you in about 30 seconds, once my heart rate gets down, how to do the actual consistent swings, all right? The timing here, it's a little quick, so you have to pay attention to this one, but as I'm resting, remember, if you like this video, let me know in the comments, share it with someone that you know could correct their swing, especially if you know they're making one of these 3 mistakes, set up, non-hiking back right, or hinging too soon. Send this to them, share it with them, help them do safer swings as you learn yourself. And if you want coaching on that, KB coaching in the comments, or just ask a question. What do you need help with on your swing? All right. And to incorporate the swing into an actual workout that you can do in 10 minutes, I have that absolutely free in the description here, or shoot me a message in the comments, KB10. I'll shoot that over to you, or pick that up here. Let's jump into the consistent swing. All right. So I'm going to do 5 consistent swings. The difference here between the dead stop swing is you have to set that bell up, and you have to know right off the bat. Don't try to decide if you're going to do consistent swings while the bell's in the air. Decide right away, because that's going to dictate your timing. Because once the bell's going, it's going to keep going. You can't stop it. You can't stop and think. All right. So I'm going to do 5 swings. Stick with that, but the setup is the same. Set up foot space with that bell. Find my hinge. Engage my core. Hinge here. All right. I'm going to show you from the side so you can see a side view. Perfect side view here. All right. Foot space away. All right. Engage my core. Hinge it down. There we go. Reach that bell. Tilt it back. Break that bell apart. Air in. 5 swings. This is how they look. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And always set the bell down until it's motionless. The set's not done until the bell is on the ground, motionless. All right, shake it out. And that's how you do it. That's the kettlebell swing. That is the kettlebell swing. How to break it down, how to fix my top 3, the top 3 corrections that I see with students. I see it all the time with people trying to do swings. And now that you know how to do it, you can fix that correct swing. That you know now that you know as I as I ramble on. It happens when your heart rate's elevating, you're trying to talk. Now that you know what the top 3 mistakes are, not setting up right, not hiking it back correctly, and not waiting long enough for the bell to come back, you know how to correct them. And I incorporated the bonus, that extra mistake that I see is the breath. All right, Now that you know how to do that, you can correct the swing and do it safely and effectively. You can start doing kettlebell swings as part of your regular routine consistently. And you can start enjoying the benefits of getting fitter, getting leaner, getting stronger with the kettlebell swing. And you can do it in 10 minutes. You want a 10-minute workout, 20-minute workout, whatever it is. If you get a swings in, doing swings consistently, regularly, every day, every other day, you're gonna enjoy the benefits. And now you know how to do it safely and correct the top 3 mistakes: how to set up right, how to hike it back right, and how to wait and patiently let that bell come down, incorporated with the power breath. You know how to do it. You're equipped now. Rewatch this video if you need to review it. If you have any questions in the comments, let me know. I want to help you. I want to help you learn how to do the kettlebell swing correctly and safely so you can eliminate that back pain. You can build a stronger core, stronger legs, stronger total body, and do it with the kettlebell and doing the swing. So comments, if you have any, let me questions. I want to help you out, coach you, guide you along the way. And again, if you want a 10-minute full body kettlebell workout that incorporates the swing, you can apply it and you can do it in only 10 minutes when you're short on time. Grab that absolutely free in the description, or KB10 in the comments. I'll shoot that over to you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video here. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep training strong. Keep watching my videos. I'm showing you how to do kettlebells correctly. I got workouts. I got instruction, everything you need right here on my channel, and how to do the kettlebell swing and how to start incorporating it into your life to get fitter, to get stronger, and to do it safely so you can stay consistent and stay injury free. All right. So see you in the next video. Share with someone you know could benefit from this. Until next time, train strong, get after it, be consistent, show up for yourself one day at a time. Just keep pushing play. Keep watching my videos. I'm going to help you along the way. Have an awesome day. Train strong, get after it. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, I'll see you soon. Enjoy the day.